What are the scientifically proven strategies that we can start using today to strengthen the mind? By the end of this video, you will take away 3 evidence-based strategies that you can use to strengthen the mind by nurturing your mental well-being and happiness. In this video, we'll focus on how earning money affects our happiness and what we can do to improve our happiness. So watch until the end of this video to learn and use scientific knowledge to strengthen your mind. Money versus love. Which one is more important for increasing your happiness? A survey study from 132 countries discusses 2 different types of well-being. First is people's general evaluation of life, and second, the emotional well-being. The results show that having a higher level of income and living in more economically developed countries are important for increasing their general evaluation of life, but less important for increasing their emotional well-being or happiness. More important than money, having their psychological needs fulfilled was more important for increasing their happiness. Psychological needs were fulfilled when we were treated with respect, when we had friends or family that we could count on during an emergency, learn something new, or had the freedom to decide what to do with their life, what to do with their time, rather than being forced to do something they didn't want to do. But to some extent, money is important. Another survey study shows that people who are living in countries with high economic growth reported having greater happiness, but only when income inequality was low. People who are living in more countries that have high economic growth, but where income inequality was high, there's a big disparity between the rich and the poor, those people did not have any improvement in their happiness. So understanding the importance of our psychological needs and making sure that our psychological needs are fulfilled each day are very important for increasing our emotional well-being and happiness. But what is the best way to fulfill our psychological needs? And is it different for different people? It will be interesting to study the individual differences in our psychological needs. For me, the most important psychological need is to learn something new every day. And I've just realized that through experience that whenever I felt like I haven't learned anything new that day, I always feel like I've wasted that day. And I think it's very important that we understand what our unique psychological needs are and to make sure that those needs are fulfilled each day to increase our happiness and emotional well-being. So make sure to fulfill your psychological needs to increase your happiness and emotional well-being by being treated with respect, by first treating others with respect, by clothing yourself with kindness and investing your time in building relationships, strong relationships with people around you, making sure that you learn something new every day, and cherishing your freedom by spending the time in ways that you like rather than being forced to spend your time in ways that you dislike. You need to make sure and nurture your own happiness and emotional well-being by taking these steps. What are your plans to ensure that your psychological needs are fulfilled to increase your happiness? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We all know that work-life balance is important, but are we working too much at the expense of our happiness? Should we work and earn money to increase our happiness rather than working unnecessarily too much that we become less happy as a result? Research shows that people tend to work unnecessarily too much, that their happiness is reduced, especially for those people who are earning at a higher rate than those who are earning at a lower rate. In a really simplified and tightly controlled experiment, people were divided into 2 groups. In group 1, people were asked to listen to a really annoying noise for 20 times in order to get a chocolate. And in group 2, people were asked to listen to the same really annoying noise for 120 times to get the same chocolate. So group 1 had a much higher earning rate compared to group 2. In both groups, they could choose to listen to the same really annoying noise many times to get a chocolate. but they could also choose to listen to a song for their leisure. And also in both groups, they were not allowed to take any leftover chocolates outside of the experiment, so they really had no incentive to earn the chocolates more than they could consume. The findings show that people who had a much higher earning rate, group 1, worked unnecessarily too much to get more chocolates than they could consume during the experiment, compared to those who had a much lower earning rate, at the expense of their happiness, because listening to the noise was rated as being much less happy than listening to a song for their leisure. The research also found that people who had overworked at the expense of their happiness did so because they were working mindlessly until they got tired, rather than working until they had enough. Somehow we have been wired to work mindlessly until we get tired at the expense of our happiness, especially for those people who have a much higher earning rate. But thinking about what the optimal reward is that can make us happy can reduce our urge to work more than necessary. So the key to increasing our happiness is to keep ourselves from the love of money and being content with whatever we have by rejecting the temptation to work more and more at the expense of our happiness. But what happens to our happiness when we are motivated to work to benefit other people than to benefit ourselves? For example, in an experiment, when people are told to listen to the annoying noise to earn the chocolates for other people, would listening to the noise actually make them more happy than other people who are motivated to earn the chocolates for themselves? As a researcher, and like most people, I typically work from 9 to 5. But ever since I started this YouTube channel, I started working from about 7 p.m. until 10 or 11 p.m. And so I'm definitely overworking these days. And I really underestimated how much time it takes to find the journal articles that are about increasing our happiness or strengthening the mind, reading those journal articles from start to end, summarizing those journal articles, and reading the summaries over and over again to memorize them, to practice them, and filming and editing and posting them on YouTube. It takes so much time, and I'm definitely overworking, but I feel like this makes me happy. Doing this thing makes me happy because I feel like I'm doing this to hopefully benefit other people by sharing the scientific knowledge about how to increase happiness and to strengthen their mind, especially during COVID-19. So make sure that you decide to work to increase your happiness rather than working too much mindlessly at the expense of your happiness. Do you feel like you're working too much at the expense of your happiness? And if so, what will you do to change your life to start working to increase your happiness? Share your thoughts in the comments below. How can we be happy with what we already earn? Research shows that people can be happy no matter how much they earn by thinking of winning. But when people think of losing, they feel less happy when they earn less money. In an experiment, people divided into two groups. Group 1 was called winners, Group 2 was called losers. For both groups, they were given one of 3 sets of prizes that they could win. In one set, they had $7 versus $5, and they could win one of these 2 prizes. In the second set, they were given $5 versus $3, and in the third set, they were given $3 or $1. So the winning group, Group 1, always won the bigger amount of the 2. For example, when they're given a set of $7 versus $5, the winning group always won the bigger prize. Whereas the losing group, the second group, called losers, they always won the lower price of the 2. And the results show that the winning group, Group 1, winners, who always won the bigger prize of the 2, felt equally happy no matter how much they ended up winning. So for example, if they were given $7 versus $5, they won the $7, and these people who won the $7 felt equally happy compared to when they were given $3 versus $1, and won the $3. So no matter how much they won, in terms of the absolute amount of the prize, they always felt equally happy. But in the losing group, the losers, when they always won the lower amount of the two prizes, felt less happy when they earned less money. When we see ourselves as winners or victors, we can be happy no matter how much we earn. But if we see ourselves as losers, then the absolute amount of the money that we earn affects our happiness such that the lower amount of money that we earn, the less happy we become. One question is whether believing that feeling victorious is because of some luck rather than our own ability or effort can make us more happy no matter how much we earn. For instance, if we believe that our sense of winning and feeling victorious is because of luck, we may feel more grateful for the things that we already have. But if we believe that feeling victorious or winning is because of our effort or ability, then when we see that we are earning less, or when we see that we are having less income, that we may feel like it's because of our own ability and effort and feel less grateful but more frustrated as a result. When we believe that we have the victory and dominion over the world, we can begin to feel happy no matter how much we earn. Where does your sense of victory come from, or what is your biggest victory in life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. So the 3 key takeaways from this video are: first, having your psychological needs fulfilled is much more important than earning more money for increasing your happiness. Second, decide not to overwork at the expense of your happiness by thinking about what the optimal amount of reward is for your work. And third, adopt a winner's mindset so that you can be happy no matter how much you earn. I'm glad that you're here because you can now use scientific knowledge to strengthen your mind and to nurture your mental well-being. Subscribe to get more scientifically proven strategies to strengthen your mind.